Hi parents, I wanted to show you how to do subtraction the way that we do it in the classroom because this week's homework has a lot of subtraction practice, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. As I go through the video, I will explain the thought process and the reasons why we do subtraction the way that we do, okay? The ultimate goal in second grade is to get students to be able to do subtraction the way you and I were taught, the vertical way. We stack them, 161, subtract 73, okay? We want all students to be able to do this. The problem is about 85–90% of my students still don't know their subtraction facts fluently. When I say fluently, I'm talking about if you say what is 18 subtract 7. We are waiting for an answer, and it takes them a while. They still have to count in their head. They still have to count their fingers, or they're imagining dots, okay, in their head, and a lot of times that will result in an inaccurate answer, okay? So, can I teach them how to do it the way you and I have learned it? Of course, okay? I can teach them that, you know what, boys and girls, when we have a 1 and we need to subtract a 3, there aren't enough, so you go next door and you borrow, that becomes a 5, and you add a 10 to the 1, and that becomes an 11. That part they can do. They can cross out, they can go 1 less, and then they can also add 10 more to the ones place. The problem lies where they don't know 11 subtract 3, okay? They don't know it fast, and they don't know it accurately, okay? So a lot of students will either resort to drawing lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, okay? And then they will cross out 1, 2, 3, all right? Or they will use their fingers. Some students will be like, well, I only have 10 fingers. I don't have 11 fingers. What do I do? This causes students to freeze. It causes students to not want to do math because they don't know the strategies, or they don't know another way of getting the answer, okay? So to combat this, we teach them how to do, let me get rid of this drawing, subtraction using the place value method, okay, or strategy. So you draw a place value. If there isn't one already drawn for them, it looks like this, okay? It's partitioned into thirds. You label it. This is the hundreds place, tens place, and the ones place. And then we teach students to go from left to right, okay, in the problem. So the first number is 161, so there are 100, there are 6 tens, and then there's one 1. And then next we look at the operation. It is subtraction, so we have them write it on the side. And then we look at the second number, okay? Oh, actually, let me back up a little bit. Once they write 161, the first number, you want them to draw. Okay, students have been taught that a box represents 100 and sticks represent the tens. So in this case, we have 6 tens. We're going to draw six sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there are only 1 1, so we represent that with a dot, okay? So you have 161, you have your operation sign written, and then now we have to write the second number. There are 7 tens and 3 ones. Now we do not draw the 73 because we are subtracting, okay? And I have students write the 73 in the place value chart because I want them to visually see how many they are subtracting. And then next we go to the equal sign, and this is their equal sign. All right. So let's go ahead and start subtracting. In the ones place, we always start here in the ones place. There's one 1, and we have to subtract 3. The kids will know, well, that's not enough. So what do? You go over to the tens place, and you ask one of the 10, or you bring one of the 10 back to the ones place. So when you bring it back, the exchange rate in our number system is 110 equals 10 ones, okay? So if we're going to bring it back, we're going to cross it out. It's no longer in the tens place because we're going to exchange it or trade it in for 10 ones. So we draw 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So as you can see on the screen, there are now 11 dots or 11 ones. Can we subtract the 3? The answer would be yes. We can now subtract 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, whoop, let me do excess so that looks like I'm actually subtracting it. And how many ones are left over? Students will say, oh, there are 8 ones. And they can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they write it down. We're done with the ones place. We're going to move on to the tens place. Now, we only have 5 tens, and we need to subtract 7. Obviously, we don't have enough sticks to subtract, so we go over to the hundreds place, okay? And we bring the 100 back to the tens place. The exchange rate, again, is always 1 to 10, so 100 will equal 10 ones. And we draw 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And because we used that 1 and we brought it, the 100, and we brought it over to the tens place, it no longer is in the hundreds place. So in the tens place, we have 15. Okay, we have 15 tens. Or sorry, yes, we have 15 tens. Can we subtract 7 now? The answer would be yes, and we just go through it and cross them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you count the ones that are not crossed out, the ones that are left over, and that means we have 8 tens left. And in the hundreds place, because we used it, we moved it to the tens, there's no hundreds anymore. I tell the kids they can leave it blank, or they can use a 0 as a placeholder. And our answer is 88. Okay, so this provides students an outlet to try. This also provides a student a space where they can actually draw and subtract numbers, okay, without, freaking out about, I don't know what the number is. I have no idea what 11 subtract 3 is. So it's given them kind of an outlet to, get to arrive at the right answer. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that in the long run, if they do enough of these and if they get better at their subtraction math facts, they will be able to transfer this knowledge over to the vertical that we all want them to do, okay, or to learn, or be able to do. Anyways, okay, so let me know if you have any questions, and like I said, I hope this was helpful. Bye.